Coming up on today's show, John Lynch said that Deebo Samuel will be with the 49ers in 2022 after a Deebo trade did not materialize throughout the NFL draft. Also, the Carolina Panthers still reportedly kicking the tires on a Jimmy Garoppolo trade. All of that to get to and more. But first, if you want Deebo in a Niners uniform this upcoming season and beyond, hit that thumbs up icon, like the video. And with that, let's talk some Niners football right now. Here we go. You're watching the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase Senior. Appreciate all of you for making the 49ers Report a part of your day. This is why you subscribe to the channel for free daily videos year-round on the San Francisco 49ers. Okay, let's get to what John Lynch had to say about Deebo Samuel. Did a radio interview on KNBR and said, despite all of these Deebo Samuel trade rumors, him wanting out of San Francisco, he's going to be on this roster in 2022. Do you buy it or not? I'll ask you that right around the corner. But first, here's what Lynch, the general manager for the Niners, had to say about his all-pro player. It's a yes for me, and that's our job. He's just too good of a player. We've got too good of a thing going on with Deebo, and we want to keep that good thing going. I don't think the obstacles are insurmountable. I think we can find a way to a resolution, and we're hopeful for that because we know what he's been to this organization. 36 pick back in 2019 after Nick Bosa, and he's been so good on and off the field. Obviously, Deebo is a tremendous player. He makes us better as a football team. I think we make him better as a player, and we're hopeful that we get everything right and that we're rolling forward with Deebo on this roster. We'll continue to unpack what all of this means and, of course, the A.J. Brown new contract directly impacting what Deebo could get paid. But first, I want to hear from the Niner gang. I want to hear from the faithful in the comment section. Do you believe John Lynch when he says this? Type B for you're a believer, L for you think he's lying. Let me know down below. To that A.J. Brown contract, this directly impacts what Deebo could get with his new contract, and hopefully it's with San Francisco. A signing bonus of a little more than $23 million, full guarantees of $40 million. There is an injury settlement in that contract, in that fine writing, so if he does get hurt, he still gets the payout of $57 million. And once the contract extension kicks in, it's an average annual value per year of $25 million. As for his base salary year in and year out, it's actually a pretty good deal for Philadelphia considering how good A.J. Brown is, and maybe the 49ers look at this deal and say, we want to do something similar with Deebo, and maybe Deebo and his camp look at this contract to my right and say, okay, we could certainly make this work. $5.5 million in 2022, jumps up to $9 million. Then it escalates to 28 even in 2024, goes down to $23 million flat in 2025, and then blossoms to $38 million in 2026, a classic backloading of that contract once that trade was made official on night one of the 2022 NFL Draft. So now, this is the updated list of the highest paid wide receivers in terms of guaranteed money. Then we'll get to the highest paid wide receivers per year. And again, Deebo's going to look for something in this neighborhood. Highest paid wide receivers in guaranteed money with their new contracts. Tyreek Hill at 52 plus, Stephon Diggs at a little less than 48, DeAndre Hopkins suspended the first 6 games of the year at a little less than 43, DJ Moore at 41 and a half, and now A.J. Brown coming in 5th at $40 million even. But per year, A.J. Brown jumps up to 4th ahead of Stephon Diggs, even though he's getting less guaranteed money. Tyreek Hill per year, $30 million. Devontae Adams, 28. DeAndre Hopkins, north of 27. A.J. Brown, right on that $25 million per year mark. And Stephon Diggs at $24 million. Now, I know that Jeremy Fowler of ESPN did say the other day that Deebo is doubling down and he still wants to get traded. This is what I don't understand about Deebo Samuel wanting out of San Francisco. It's like any of us who have a great cushy gig when we're supported by ownership, supported by our general manager, supported by our bosses, and we have a great complimentary cast of coworkers who we like to work with every day and also hang out with outside of work. They bring the best out of us as individuals, and the 49ers bring the best out of Deebo Samuel, including Kyle Shanahan, putting him in positions to succeed on the football field by finding creative ways to scheme him open in the passing game. And when they need a big splash play on the ground, Kyle Shanahan designs a play that allows Deebo Samuel to flourish. And Deebo is due for a big payday, and he's going to get the bag and paid like one of the highest paid wide receivers in the National Football League because of the versatility that he brought to the Niners offense last year, which made him one of the most impactful all-around players in the National Football League. Deebo, you're in a great position in San Francisco. This partnership and relationship can be successful, and it can lead to a lot of great things for many years to come. You'd rather play for San Francisco than the dysfunctional New York Jets or Detroit Lions. I think you should take back your trade demand. Let the Niners pay you. As long as they're willing to pay you what you want, you should return to the Bay and continue to ball out in the scarlet, red, and gold. Because the situation right now, it's perfect for you, and it's perfect for San Francisco. Coming up next on the show, according to Albert Breer, Carolina Panthers still kicking the tires on Jimmy Garoppolo. He's not the only quarterback that they're interested in, though. We'll get to those names and that report on Jimmy G right around the corner. But first, right after our live show right here on YouTube and Rumble, as we go live every single Tuesday at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. I'm going live for the second time on Call-In. So make sure you subscribe to us on the 49ers Report on Call-In and download the app by plugging in that link down below, chatsports.com/49ers Call-In. What is the Call-In app? I always have the answers for the faithful. They're taking audio and social podcasting to a completely different level. We're going to be doing weekly live shows where you have an opportunity to call into the show. Think of it like Twitter Spaces, but even better and more interactive. So make sure you join us after our live show. We'll continue to plug it all throughout the live broadcast, and subscribe by going to chatsports.com/49ers Call-In. The link for the live show is in the comment section and the description of this video. Lastly, on the docket for today, Albert Breer on Jimmy Garoppolo, saying that the Carolina Panthers are kicking around the idea of adding a veteran quarterback. That includes Jimmy G and two other veterans. One, older in Nick Foles, the other, younger in Baker Mayfield. This is pretty interesting because Carolina in the NFL draft, the board fell their way to a certain degree where they were able to get pretty solid value on Matt Corral, the rookie quarterback out of Ole Miss. I did not like Matt Corral as a first-round quarterback. Coming out of Lane Kiffin's offense, I do have some concerns about how he can dissect and read defenses. He's a little bit raw and inexperienced up to this point, in my opinion. So I'm not sure he's ready to be a full-time starter in year one. He should really develop, which would help Carolina out in the long term. But is Sam Darnold the right quarterback for Matt Corral to be under? I don't think so. I think Garoppolo is a much better option as long as that shoulder checks out. We'll get to what Albert Breer said, but first, another reminder to subscribe to the channel. We need 1,267 new people to join the faithful family here at Chat Sports to get us to 60,000 subs. We're one of the most watched and the largest 49ers news and rumors channel on YouTube, also on Rumble, so make sure you subscribe by hitting that red subscribe button down below or go to youtube.com/49erstv. If you have a friend out there who's not familiar with what we do, news, rumors, all year round, videos 7 days a week throughout the calendar year, tell them about what we're doing and cooking up here on the 49ers Report. I guarantee you they will be fans of the 49ers Report. Okay, Albert Breer on Garoppolo. He kind of broke this down in a couple of ways. He said, so now that Ike Ekwonu's a Panther, the offensive tackle, who I think is going to be a stud, and Matt Corral is too, the team's first and second round picks for next year are intact. Carolina's first pick will likely start at left tackle, and its second pick in Matt Corral will compete with Sam Darnold to be the team's starting quarterback. Here's where it gets interesting now. And this is where Jimmy Garoppolo involves the conversation. Jimmy Garoppolo has entered the chat. The Panthers will still kick around the idea of adding a vet like Garoppolo, Baker Mayfield, or Nick Foles to the mix, but they're no longer in a desperate spot to do something. Now, the Panthers did not have second and third round picks in 2022 to send to the Niners in terms of draft compensation in a Jimmy Garoppolo trade. The draft is over and done with. We don't have to worry about it anymore. What we do have to worry about is moving forward with Trey Lance as this team starter and him not looking in the rear view at all times with Garoppolo breathing down his neck, because we know the locker room and the coaching staff, they really like Jimmy G. I think Trey Lance needs every single rep this offseason. He's going to get it either way because of that Garoppolo shoulder injury, but he doesn't deserve to have Garoppolo breathing down his neck. So if you can trade away Jimmy G for next year's draft compensation, that will make up for the Niners not trading Jimmy Garoppolo up to this point, because they overplayed their hands to a certain degree, and Garoppolo's shoulder injury certainly impacted his trade value. Prediction time. Before we get on out of here, appreciate all of you for rocking and rolling with us right here on the channel. Where will Garoppolo play this year? Let me know in the comments section, and make sure you subscribe.